Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. We have some stuff ahead of us this episode, because we're probably going to get in a fight or two. So at this point, we've met 3 of the other 8 empires, right? There are 9 players in this game. It is possible that we are the only ones inhabiting our half of the map, right? And that the other 5 players are on this side. It's also possible, and not even terribly unlikely, that there is one more player jammed on our side of the table here. It could be somewhere over in this region. It also might be that this region over here is just kind of an empty void. I guess we'll find out. But the point is, we're at the point now where we're starting to have, border and pressure conflicts. Obviously, we're going to need to produce a lot of influence, but we're also going to need to start putting some military pressure on people. So let's have a look at the geopolitical landscape, the galaxy. I'm not sure what the correct term here is for the galactic political landscape. So the Sophons are currently at war with both the Vulturs and the Vodyani. And how do the Vodyani and the Vulturs don't have any particular feelings about each other? Okay, well, it would seem that a good way to curry some sort of favor while doing the dirty thing that we have to do here is to go after the Sophons. We know where their systems are. I don't have any idea of their tech level, but given that they are who they are, if they are allowed to tech up, they will accelerate past all of us, in theory. I mean, the AI is not super good at the game, so maybe it's not something to be too worried about. But I think this is where we're going to focus our violence. Unfortunately, kind of out of the way, sort of far away from all of our points of production. How are we going to do this? Well, first of all, I'm noticing that Kairos is now settleable. We should probably get in on that. The world we can settle isn't the one that has the antimatter. However, the one that has the antimatter is Arctic, and the tech we're currently researching will give us that colonization. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's put down and start establishing this system now. Good science output. That's helpful. These are cool. I still enjoy these, even after as many hours as I have spent. And at this point, I think we can definitely afford to accelerate this as much as possible. Yeah, geez, look at that. The food output of the system's pretty bad, but man, those colony ships really going to be helpful. Okay, so we don't have the ability to mine antimatter yet. That's a problem that has to be solved. If we're going to go after military stuff, I would really like to do it with fighters and bombers this game because, again, this is a system that I really don't have a good handle on and that we haven't really made use of. So, in order to use fighters and bombers, we have to pick up either the Sheridan-class coordinator vessels or the Zelavis-class carriers. Obviously, we're going to end up doing both of those things. For now, we'll focus on this. So these ships cost... Okay, they just cost Hyperium to build. The large ones cost Adamantium and Antimatter. Okay, so we're extremely good on Hyperium, I think. So we're going to want to get this, and then we need to tech up until we actually have access to some fighters and bombers. Fortunately, here in the second rank, there's a really obvious choice. We'll pick up more command points, and then we'll move toward fighters and bombers. And in fact, basic fighters and basic bombers are on the next command point tech, so bigger and better fleets with cooler and weirder weapons. That said, obviously, I'm going to finish the tech to actually inhabit this world, and then we probably... the reason I was looking at that was trying to figure out how much we need to prioritize the tech that lets us actually mine this antimatter. And it looks like, right now, the antimatter's not vital, so it can probably wait until after we have the ship designs. I don't even think we really have access to good antimatter modules. Also noticing that Kochab over here has a colonizable planet that has an adamantium deposit. Okay, a normal-sized adamantium deposit. So we should probably get on that. Also, I suppose we should investigate all of these. We have discovered the science from scrap battle tactic. Okay, a battle tactic that gives us science from destroyed ships, on top of all of our other things that do that. And we've discovered a new laser weapon. Okay, that one seems fine, not terribly exciting. Also, an event. You enter the atmosphere of this planet to a wondrous sight, a migrating swarm of giant airborne creatures soaring idly through the air like a fleet of dirigibles. Your wonder turns to fear, however, when the creatures start attaching themselves to your ship's hulls. The banging of mandibles off sheet metal echoes through the interior. Obviously, we will be running. The creatures remain attached to the ship for some time. If these enormous creatures are indeed parasites, as it seems, you shudder to imagine the beasts they usually feed on. Okay, so we're a little off course. That ship. Busy fleeing. Oh, that's right. I'm sending the hero fleet down here because the hero has probes. I was getting some XP. That's fair. Okay. So, we need to try to make sure that we're pumping out as much influence as possible over these worlds. We can, hopefully, solve the Vaulters militarily if we have to, but I would much rather just sort of let our spheres of influence consume and passively take all their stuff over while we're doing this. Attention is a limited resource. You should probably get out of Sophon territory. They have quite a few systems. Alright, speaking of systems and colonization, we are 2 systems underneath our colonization limit. And I'm pretty sure outposts are not included in this number. So the outpost we just put down is colony number 9. We're going to need to move this limit a little bit if we want to do the thing we're trying to do, obviously. We have a lot of stuff on our plate before we could possibly win the game. Boy, what even do I want to do with these guys? Ducey's hitting all of its stuff manually. So we don't need to send scouts over there. And we have a 36% remaining defense on this system. It looks like their power level's about to go up. I'm not sure if that actually affects their planetary defenses. Hold on, let's pop in here.
We can agree on a prize.
I know that their power level affects the power of the ships they produce. I have no idea if it's meaningful for their ground defenses. So maybe we should just go after them now. I mean, we have the numbers for sure. Yeah, 396 to 216 is somewhat in our favor. We'll have the siege ships use their manpower, so that our fighting vessels are still fully manned, in case we need to go after a thing, you know? Okay, so preemptive bombing will, Preemptive bombing is not, I think, the way we want to go here. Preemptive bombing is mostly good if you're trying to, like, really burn the planet out. If you're afraid you're not going to be able to take it because they're going to over-conscript or stuff. Because you're doing more damage to planetary infrastructure. We kind of have all day. So we could just do guerrilla over and over again. We do less damage, but we have considerably more health. But also, I have stuff to do. We need these ships elsewhere. The increasing the manpower deployment limit via Blitz doesn't actually do anything for us because we're not anywhere near the manpower deployment limit in the first place. You know what? Actually, because of the fact that we're not getting any benefit from the deployment limit increase, this actually looks pretty bad to me. Right, we increase the damage we deal, but we lower our health by a great deal more than we increase the damage we deal. I think Guerrilla is actually the way to go this time. It is the safest. You will lose fewer troops over the course of the invasion if you stay in Guerrilla mode. It's just that it takes longer than the other strategies do, which sometimes is not a luxury that you really have. It is often the case that you need to go immediately. Because, say, you have another planet to conquer, or you know their fleet is coming. I think we can actually move the ships out of here. Kind of want to just go to Leo. Like, I think we might... this might be the place where the fighting kicks off. If I have anything to say about it. Okay, that system will flip easily and soon. So that'll be number 10, actually. Now, the penalty for going over is not tremendous. We're just going to gorilla again. Okay, Gigalattice and Antimatter. That's cool. Oh, that's right. You don't automatically take over... Pirates don't actually colonize the system properly, so there was no colony for us to steal. That's actually kind of nice, because I think I want Kochab to be our next colony. And in fact, Esh can produce that colony ship for us. And then after it has done that... Oh wait, this is worth doing. Our influence generation is starting to get extremely good. I don't know. We'll decide what else we want to do with you next turn. Here, let's make sure it's the Heroes fleet that is selected. Alright, we've discovered Ionic Crystal, which is a fine resource. And even more weapon module blueprints. We're having some serious luck with those. And then the other ship can grab one of these. We've discovered Antonov rings. And also we got a bunch of Transvine, which is whatever. The expedition made landfall days ago, but nothing has been heard since they entered a region of mild seismic activity on the second day. Electromagnetic analysis of the region suggests that their communication equipment should still be functional, so lack of contact is unlikely to have a technical cause. What should you do? Stay loyal to the missing team and send another party down to investigate? Or keep everyone aboard and not expose them to unknown risks? We have a bad feeling about this. Obviously, we're going to rescue them. We have backup in the system. If things kick off, I think we'll be okay. This seems like a terrible... No. We're saving them. Search the Curiosity. Pay 10... Oh, well, we can't do it this turn. Right. No probes left. We'll save them next turn. You guys just chill out down there. And we discovered a unit of amoeba population, which is just +5 food, straight, regardless of circumstance. It's a pretty good one. Also, I'm noticing that we're getting a lot of these split anomalies that are plus industry minus other stuff. That's a pretty good way for them to be going. Honestly, I think we're going to just send the siege ships over here as well. I know it's going to take us a while to arrive, but we're also not ready to start fighting yet. Okay, what do we want to do here? We probably want to switch you to the Spin Project, and honestly, we're going to need all the influence we can get on these this sort of frontline worlds. Alright, what else? We already have the plus influence for happiness building. Oh, okay, this planet is sending food to one of the new colonies. Well... obviously, we're as happy as can be. Yeah, I guess just make stuff. Make building stuff. Alright, we have a lot of influence coming in right now. I feel pretty good about it. This planet, or this system, is outputting very little science. These percentage boosts are not really strong. I mean, I'll take this because it's +10 per planet, and then we're getting close to our population cap here, so we'll inhabit a couple more planets. That'll make this +30 at least, which is pretty significant here. Alright, you guys are just going to stay put. Okay, even more antimatter. And then the Horatio ship is going to do a little bit of scouting for us. So I don't know why we know about forests. Send me a probe, like, out here and out here. I think this Horatio ship is just going to sit here and regenerate probes, and we're going to use it to sweep this whole arc over time. Alright, now I'm a little worried about this. Because we founded this after they got Centaurus online, the influence bubble is pretty strongly in their favor. Gotta watch this very carefully here. Okay, it doesn't seem to be moving significantly in either direction. That's fine. That'll do for now. And people are accomplishing deeds all over the place. We've discovered nanohaze defenses. Formed from a pool of self-replicating nanomachines, these miniature robots can quickly adjust battlefield conditions to draw out encounters. Much more than simply spraying mist that many battlefield actors can filter out, nanohaze defenses trick the enemy with many different optical illusions. Huh. Weird. Well, if it looks like our systems are in any danger, that's a pretty good defensive structure. We are definitely not accepting an alliance. At this time, we are just a little too busy for you. Sorry. Alright, here we may as well start picking up big science improvements. Actually, we should get this first. Yeah, we'll decide on other stuff afterward. Okay, we do have a probe up. Search this quest curiosity, and if it spawns some pirates or something, we're ready to get aggressive. The rescue party touches down on the planet, close to the site of last contact. Success! On the 5th day, the rescue party picked up a weak signal coming from a system of caves within the region that the original team disappeared. Upon investigation, they discovered the team surviving inside a Vodyani craft near the mouth of the caves. Although the crew gave conflicting accounts of what had happened, and possessed equipment that was prematurely aged, they were found to be in fine physical and mental health. After some simple repairs to the Vodyani craft, both the rescue party and the missing crew were able to leave the surface and return to the fleet. Insights gleaned from the whole affair have triggered a scientific renaissance. Oh, cool. And we got the ship, too. And we found 30 Hyperium, which we desperately needed, right? Yeah, okay, we've discovered a Vodyani gouge. Unfortunately, not a very significant ship. Well, that being that, what do I want to do with this hero? Probably what's going to happen is when these ships arrive where they're going, the hero's going to get pulled out of his fleet and sent over to there. So in the meantime, what can I do with you that's actually useful? Nothing, basically. I think I'm just going to keep them right here because I'm curious, like, that we could potentially send them down this star lane to search what's at the other end for a little bit more hero XP. We'll wait until we see what this ship is doing. Or what this ship discovers, rather. Actually, I'll send my other scout down that way as well. Alright, well. Things are coming along. Wow, that's a lot of sudden notifications. A sudden rise in galactic inflation has led to a market-wide price increase, probably good for us because we don't need to buy and we have plenty of stuff to sell. Of course, we're on this, so now do we just go straight into the military stuff, or do I want to pick up the hulls first? I probably want to pick up the hull first, right? I think that makes sense. See, we're going to need this soonish. Actually, you know what? I think the combo points, what do you call it? The command points are probably the biggest immediate benefit to our war-making capabilities. And we'll see whether I want to go up and get fighters right away, or whether I want to get the hulls after that. Alright, everybody's got stuff to build. One of the curiosities on Duce turned out not to be anything. The other turned out to be more Jadonics. Wow. Right. This event has ended. Second part of it has procced. Upstart's success has only boldened his political ambitions and raised his standing with the public. He campaigns to run for head of the treasury and wins in a landslide. Now one of the most loved and hated leaders in your empire holds the keys to the vault. His rivals can't tolerate this. They've thrown everything they've got against him, but even infidelity charges don't stick. The opportunist, however, sees one last chance to bring him down. In a rare stroke of boldness, he insults the upstart's family, in particular the man's dead son, who was accidentally killed in a fight while military training. The upstart is furious and demands satisfaction in the form of a duel. Wow. This weird little side plot has really gone places. Well, increasing pacifist political ideology I don't think actually accomplishes anything, but I think that's also true of this, so there's no reason for me not to take +5 approval. What foolishness is this? You can't have two of your top officials killing each other over insults and pride? Yeah, I think... let's just take the numbers, yeah? Okay, there's a competitive quest to produce the most food in the galaxy. We will not be winning. A new industrialist movement on Novarus is causing more problems than you would like. Apparently, some political organizations have been spearheading a civilian movement to tear down the old, destroying valuable cultural monuments and priceless artifacts in an attempt to usher in a new industrial era. If this is allowed to continue, intellectualism and innovation on Novarus will be crippled for decades to come. Well, that's not great. So... what's Novarus? Which one is Novarus? Oh, it's over here. So do we want more industry or more science? I think the answer, given that this is one of our younger systems, is probably the industry. Oh, hold on. We'll deal with that in a second. Yeah, I think we want the industry. Okay, so that's annoying. The good news is they're trying to start their colony on a gas world, which has very poor food output. We can spend some manpower to steal food from their outposts, which we absolutely will do. Man, if I give them a turn or two before I start doing that, we might be able to really accelerate the growth of this colony. What I'm thinking is that if I start this now, it kills their colony instantly. If I let them develop a little bit, we might be able to get, 1 or 2 turns of food theft. Although, you know what, our colony ships are going to finish this anyway. Let's just do this. Let's just burn out their colony. I don't even want to have to worry about their outpost. And the first colony ship to arrive is going to very nearly finish the place. We've discovered the rejuvenation field that the vaulters start on. So that's fine, I guess. Keep looking. Alright, so we moved up. We have discovered even more curiosities here. Although it looks like, no, maybe we haven't discovered any new curiosities. So what do I want you to do? Well, we have discovered... oh, there was still something in this system to explore. A little bit of XP for our hero before we send him off to do other things. And hey, look at that. It's more ionic crystals. This part of the galaxy is pretty rich with them. Well, I guess head back. Like I said, we're just going to disengage him and reattach him to this other fleet soon anyway. I have this nagging feeling that there was something I wanted to do. We're about to have an election. Guess we may as well be searching this stuff. Okay, 20 raw adamantium, that's actually pretty handy. And another source of ionic crystals. And then our patrol ship needs to go to, like... go to Novarus and just fire some probes out over here. Let's get a more complete picture of the galaxy. Is there anything... what else do we have here? Wow, there's no reason for these not to be merged up. And I guess no reason for them to be right there either, right? Like, may as well just bring them home. This is a valuable system. We just can't settle it until we exert some pressure on at least one of these systems. Okay, what are the two political parties that I would like to have in control? I don't know. We could back something, right? The militarists won the survey, but that hasn't really helped them so far. We could just back the religious party in the hopes that we end up industrialist religious. I'm a little worried, though, that throwing our support behind the religious party could end us up militarist religious. And I do want those industrialist things. Let's just back the industrialists to make sure that regardless of the polling, they remain in charge. Okay, it's looking pretty industrial military. Oh, the ecologist pulled it out, actually, the last couple of systems. Plus 5% all outputs per anomaly on colonized planets. That's pretty good. And plus 30% health on core section. I'm assuming what this means is like 30% health on your ship designs, but it doesn't also scale up the health from modules? It's like just the actual body of the ship? Alright, we are being contacted. Well, one thing at a time here. So, we finished attack. I think we will grab hardened alloys. That way we'll be at 10 command points, which is enough to run some pretty impressive fleets. And then we'll go and get this ship design. And now that we've unlocked another tier of the military tree, we have access to a bunch of new basic modules and stuff. We should be alright. We should be able to make a pretty good fleet right now. I wonder if we should move him. We should move Lenko off of Esh and over to, like, Bonnie or Novarus or something. I'm just thinking, you know, we could be outputting more influence in one of these areas. Novarus is where I really want to do it, although Bonnie and Duce obviously have to produce enough influence to not get consumed. Let's have a quick look at influence output. So Cran, Dill, Bonnie is actually... yeah, Bonnie is producing 50% more than Novarus is. So yeah, let's move Dmitrielenko over to here. Yeah, he dramatically increases our influence output, which will push back on these guys. And we can worry about Novarus later. I think it's holding its own. Alright. Stuff is building. Hero leveled up. Oh. On the Shoulders of Supergiants ended, making me terribly sad. And we can lower the cost of our system developments or increase our resource generation on strategics. Well, I don't think we really need this. Over the next 10 turns, like, I don't think we're actually going to get control of any deposits where this would be valuable in the next 10 turns. This is going to increase our religious political ideology for a bit, but I think this is more meaningful. I don't think either of them are terribly meaningful.
I trust you no more than I would trust a clan merchant.
Okay. Vaulters are still concerned about us. And the Sophons are still in a lot of trouble. They seem to have bitten off more than they could chew. Alright, I don't think we're doing any ship redesigns yet or anything. We're pretty much just waiting. We have some exploring to do, that's true. Go check that world out, because there is an unexplored anomaly, or a curiosity rather, over there. Well, I don't think we want to change any of our laws. We still need new colony. I guess Mineral Misers Act is not amazing. It is giving us extra industry on some planets. We could replace it with... what would be good? Our dust is actually already negative, so this is probably not a great idea. This is pretty good, though. Plus 5% output per anomalies on colonized planet on systems. So, what this means, the specific thing that this is expressing here, is that anomalies on a planet increase the output of the system, not of the planet. That's the important thing to take away there, I think. So actually, I think this is pretty good. We have a lot of anomalies, obviously, within the Empire. A lot of systems are going to benefit from this significantly. New colony we want to keep. And are we doing okay? Yeah, we're still doing okay on approval, even with the loss of the Supergiants event. I need to upgrade my ships with new engines. In fact, colony ships, yeah. Colony ships should have new engines. It's probably not worth retrofitting him. By the time he gets here, he's close enough to his goal anyway. But we need to do some rebuilding of our ship designs. Oh hey, we did this. I totally forgot about this. Well, we've earned some potatoes. Not potatoes we will use, but, you know, it's nice to have them. So we're starting to get up to levels of influence generation where it's reasonable for us to be buying technologies. So that is something we will be doing. This is what we've been saving for this whole time. Stim City will allow us to push these guys over into Ecstatic. It's probably worth doing. Then we're going to need that, which is, at this point, very, very powerful here. 80 extra influence is, like, pretty alright. I think you guys just play defense. I was kind of hoping we would find something out here for him to fly to. It really is remarkably empty in this corner of the galaxy. Continual series of radio wave transmissions, huh? That's strange. Okay, and also quadronics. Useful. We're finding a lot of positive curiosities here. Alright, have we revealed any curiosities on our own systems? Looks like no, so we're not actually, we're not good on strategic resources then. We really have to branch out and find some places to pick them up. Artemis is a little bit out of reach for us, at least at the moment. Yep, all three of you just need to stay put. Yeah, Duce definitely needs this. It actually needs population more. Or a place to put population, rather. So we'll be -3 approval per citizen there. -1 here, thanks to the deposits. Five or 4554 versus 1960. Colonizing here will help keep the food rolling in. Keeping system population up is pretty important. Oh, totally missed one. Alright, so Novus has its important influence generator. Given its position, we probably ought to swap it over to influence production. Okay. Yeah, I think we're ready to move on here. Actually, it looks like Bonnie is making significant progress against the influence bubbles of these other systems now. That bodes very, very well for us. Ships are still reaching out to Leo. Ooh. We did discover an anomaly here. That very well might be a high-tier strategic resource. In fact, I'd say there's pretty good odds on it. It is just dead out here, man. It's possible that this whole area is just empty. No stars at all. That could happen. So we discovered a cool black hole. We also have detected a heavily damaged ship of unknown origin. That's over in the home system. Alright, so this one's pretty straightforward. We just have to produce lots of resources and we get a free tech. In Ash produced 354 industry and then either 84 food or 145 science. Well, I know we have a number of science buildings left to build. Yeah, should be actually quite easy to go this way. So the ship is unresponsive to hails, and sensors have detected the engines are in critical overload and will soon self-destruct. Scanning the ship, you discover that it contains not only a dense computer core containing untold secrets, but also passengers in stasis who have been infected by an unknown plague. You can only save the core or the passengers before the ship explodes. I don't feel great about it, the moral implications of it, but man, it's a lot easier to save that core. And I do believe that it is what Emperor Zelovis would do. Yeah, Ash doesn't need to do very much at all. A little bit more population growth in a science building should have that solved pretty quickly. Okay, cool. Finding all those high-level strategics. Alright, 2 more turns until this is finished. We're almost arrived over here. Okay. I'm playing kind of slowly, and it's making me feel like our tech and stuff should be progressing faster than it is. Okay, this event has ended. That's a shame. We were getting a lot of influence from that. So we might be able to just buy out the next tech, like, pretty shortly after it starts. Be good for us, just accelerate us a little bit. That was very fortunate. We should probably turn this on. This system is, or this planet is -1 approval. Sorry, I guess it's 0, right? It's -1 from the planet type, but then it's +1 from the deposits. Whereas this one is going to be +1. So yeah, let's shift a little bit of the overpopulation. I mean, I guess we were happy enough as it was. 6546 versus 6238. Well, right now our military is bottlenecked on science, so I guess it does make sense to move population over to the higher science planet. Well, I don't even know what to do with these Horatio, man. Let's just keep exploring the little bits that we missed with the probes. There's got to be something out here, right? Seems likely, at least. You will have to go to somewhere else to fire your probes. I'm a little worried about the expansion of this bubble. I wonder if this might be their capital system in here, or at least one they've owned for quite a while. Alright, Kyrus is under control, which is very good for us. I'm going to go ahead and just buy this technology. Save us a couple of turns of science. Get those ship hulls online right away. So then the question is, what's next? We now have the ability to build fighters and bombers. Probably what's next is we keep pushing along this tree because I do want the large vessels, and also we need more colonization coverage. So, interspecies HR and hyperpacks, I think, right? We need 2 more techs. Picking up medium-sized attack vessels is probably also a good idea. So if we're only going to get one of these two... we do have a couple of toxic planets, if I'm not mistaken, though. Well, we can come back and get... We can come back and get this. I kind of want to get the Culture Center online. To really help us get a hold of huge amounts of influence. Actually, I'm going to fire this down this way. Let's see what we can see of Vodyani space from here. According to your scientists, this icy planet holds a secret. It was once a planet-sized factory owned by the Endless, the first spacefaring people to harness the power of dust. The Endless are extinct now, but if they left any traces of their civilization behind, they'd be frozen miles under the surface. Perhaps their archaeological remains may still hold valuable lessons for you and your empire. How will you dig through all that ice? So if we terraform the planet into something temperate, we will get a really, really nice plating defense module. Yeah, that's pretty great. Unfortunately, it does require us to colonize this system, which is not something that I'm currently really thinking about. Once we start making headway against the Vaulters, that'll be pretty reasonable though, maybe. Also, as always, Ionic Crystal. Alright, so Dill... We don't particularly need to colonize Dill 2. Although, I suppose it'll make predictive logistics a lot better. Well, we can colonize it right after. We'll get the 20. We'll get the 20 industry then instead. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm gonna send the Horatio ship back to like Trappist, and we'll fan out some probes from here. But I'm starting to think that there's nothing up there. Definitely seems weird to me. You can stay put, you can stay put. Oh yeah, new colony, sure. Well, I mean, you know what we're doing. The planet we encountered, or the planet we inhabited, is cold and sterile. A little awkward. Man, that is a big ask. Well, It'll be less soon. Wow. Okay, we're probably going to have to spend some resources over here. The plus 60 industry will definitely help, though. Don't really want to run him into Sofa in space. This is a time when the ability to make our probe ship a privateer would actually be really useful. Alright, I'm going to try just buzzing through the pirate system. They could have ships here in defense mode, which would make that not work. And would probably get us killed. I guess we shall see. I don't know if pirates do that, actually. I don't think I've seen a pirate planet with the little defense markings around it. Yeah, okay, there's nobody home. We discovered a neutron star out here. Wow, that's really close to those systems, actually. The recent switch to industrialist politics in Bonnie has left many unhappy. Chief among the dissidents is a radical splinter group who have begun raiding shipping lanes to disrupt economic activity. The governor has imprisoned the worst of the offenders, and plans to deactivate several established, historically significant space stations to build a network of newer, cheaper, secure waypoint systems for intra-system travel. People have voted against his proposal, citing historical and cultural value. The decision falls to you. Don't seem to be very good votes. Well, what's the status of Bonnie right now? Bonnie is ecstatic. We can probably afford to take an approval hit then. Yeah, that's not even going to be enough to pull them below 100%. We're just getting something for free here. That's nice. Alright, a little bit of adamantium. Does make it more attractive to settle. And then, I guess you're done. We're going to move to here, and then we're going to fire some probes off from here and try to cover this arc. Alright, what does Esh need? Honestly, what Esh needs mostly is food. Science will do in a pinch, I guess. Alright, well, Leo... So this planet is now a planet with a strategic deposit, which makes interplanetary transport network a little bit better. I think we're still going to go with predictive logistics. So we could start producing ships then. Well, I think I'm going to wait until Leo has its manufacturing base under control here, and then we're going to start making ships on Leo for the push. In fact, it's a shame Kairos is so desperately in need of basic infrastructure, because it would be a nice secondary shipyard. We're waiting for these guys to get into position for the best possible result anyway. Why is this one inhospitable? Do I not actually have the ash colonization tech? Man, I've forgotten how I got this planet. Oh, I remember. This was a minor faction system. The minor faction had already settled it. That's what happened. Alright, well our science output's still pretty low, so let's go for the flat science bonus before worrying about anything else. I guess we could be making ships here. I want to make this science building. We'll reconsider that in a few turns. Alright, hopefully the stuff we find on Forest will be worth the trip. And we're losing all of our massive free approval events. Oh no, some of our systems aren't even ecstatic anymore. Well, well, it is a real problem. This is also not great. I'm just gonna keep running my scout deeper. They'll kick me out when they want me to leave. Okay, we could rush this next turn, and I think I probably will, so that we can get going and start spinning our war machine up here. Time has come to start applying this influence as much as we can. By a couple of turns off that, Hadrilenko will get a level. Unfortunately, not a very good level. Once he gets up to this third ring and he's able to pick up, like, big damage bonuses for his whole fleet, he's going to be pretty good. He's just not very good right now. Okay, that's interesting. You discovered the planet Psychagogia. This lushly forested world was once a major center of the Endless. Oddly, it was a center both of medical research and of entertainment, for it was here that the avian race called the Hisho were first modified to be more effective warriors, and then trained to provide blood sports spectacles for bored audiences. The wealth brought by the broadcast was rolled back into research facilities, and some to the Hisho themselves. Who knows how long this media symbiosis might have gone on, had a virtual attack not destroyed the infrastructure, and cut the Hisho free to forge their own destiny. Okay, I was a little bummed out when I saw that. I was like, oh man, that's gonna be somebody's home system. But no, it's just a fancy world. Alright, green and pink are actively at war over here. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Well, we found Psychagogia all by ourselves.
Whatever you're planning, you don't want to hurt us harmless.
The wrath of the church is feared by all.
Okay, that's annoying.
Why you insist on calling it down upon yourself?
So they have deluged us with formal diplomatic requests and actions, which increases their pressure on us. That is not super relevant. You can get your influence pressure to the point that you're able to demand things from other players without any actual border tension, but it's hard. And in fact, prior to this, we were pushing influence on them. You can see the midline is where your influence settles if you're producing equal amounts on each other, equal amounts of pressure. Here we're having some trouble due to border friction, which is strange because our borders are definitely expanding into theirs and not the other way around. And the same over here. I mean, that makes more sense. But yeah, look at that. Bonnie is definitely pushing these two back. I guess these are both pushing on Novarus in a way that's actually getting something done, but it does seem strange that it's so much in their favor. Alright, so next turn, Leo will be ready to start producing. We have here colony number 10. Let's get that source of adamantium. And we actually do have the adamantium tech. Well, aren't you just the cutest thing that looks like your face is kind of melted? It's like if you mixed a fantasy lion with Freddy Krueger. Alright, I think it's definitely worth our resources to just get this settled as quickly as possible. We do need to become able to settle the other worlds in the system because this world does not have a lot of population space. But the resources we get from it are really a lot of the value. Or rather, the one very important resource we will get from it. Okay, Leo is now in shipyard mode, hopefully. Should we ship some population over? No, what we should do is colonize the other planet, because we're about to cap on population space. Probably want to get these big data shipyards out, and then... So I guess it's going to be a couple of turns before we're ready to really move. I may as well just rush this. Like, we're trying to get to the important stuff here. Buying a turnout is probably worth doing. And... do I want to swap this system to something else? It's currently producing 3 extra food. Exoscience stations would be more effective due to it being cold. Industrial zones might be more useful in the short term. Oh, but also this is Leo. Actually, Leo needs the spin project. Ah, but we gotta build ships. Okay, we'll go industrial zones for now. 3 extra influence against 260. Not a big deal. And our current influence output is terrible. It's absolutely pathetic. Yeah, alright, we'll do this. We'll rush that too. Okay, so now we're almost ready to go. Interesting. Life form and atmospheric curiosities. I think it's possible that no other player's been over here yet, because I would expect these to have been searched already. Okay, we've discovered some Tikkanen population. Obviously, I'm not crazy about their benefits. It's fine, I guess. Alright. Oh, we lost our big science boost. What is our science output per turn right now, anyway? 1175? That's alright. Not awesome, but... This is Cran. Wish when I zoomed out it would zoom me out at the location of the system. Okay. So Cran's not super far from the front. We could build ships here. But we also have some pretty okay science output. We're probably best off just pushing more science. Also, we finished the tech for that Wonder now, so the question is, where do I want to build the Wonder? How long would it take to do it here? Only 10 turns? How much is Dmitry Lenko adding to the influence of his system? 5% plus 2% per pop? I think it might be time to move him over here. Once this Wonder is finished, this is definitely the system where we'll want him to be magnifying our influence. Yeah, I'm gonna... well, hold on, this guy's here. And he's about to pick up the same influence skill, so you know what, maybe we're fine. And he actually has almost as much bonus industry. Yeah, we're fine. We're good. You probably need to not be here anymore. I guess we'll go this way. I'm gonna send some probes out in this direction first. I'm thinking I don't want to antagonize the Vodyani any more than I already have. So no sending on ships unnecessarily into their systems, into their borders. You know. Still waiting 11 turns on this. Well, this is better than nothing. I guess it's not a super compelling way to look at it. It does actually produce some science. You know, we do have a luxury resource. They're all kind of not great, you know? What do you mean you guys need orders? You're very bravely defending this weird rock in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So we want to pick up one more tech for this tier. It probably is the medium-sized attack ships, right? Yeah, probably. As much as I would like hyperpacks. I really would like hyperpacks. Alright, we're going to go back and get adaptive bureaucracies to reduce the cost of it. Grab that, and then we'll go get large ship hulls. And it turns out that we are actually still a turn or two away from Leo being in full shipyard mode, but I think we are ready to start building the Navy. We have a bunch of ships over here already. We have a bunch of ships in this area to defend against the Vaulters getting crazy, which I think there's a real chance of them doing. Academy's leveling up. Bonnie needs something to do. Well, the Denark University does provide additional influence. I wonder if we should save this and build it on Novarus. So yeah, build flat science followed by percentage science. Alright, this has ended, and this has ended. So at one point there, we had about 45 points of extra influence from events. Now, things are starting to matter again. That period of being ecstatic was awfully nice, though. I had very few things to worry about. Okay. Now we have at least one really full-sized, pretty dangerous fleet. I think at this point in the game especially, it should be difficult for the other players to match us in fleet size and ferocity. There's some scout ships over here, but that's all. I was kind of hoping that those would be military ships so that we could get some idea of what we were looking at as far as potential defenders. Potential opposing forces. Okay, Cyberflora is a great anomaly. You guys just sit here and continue to defend, I think. Alright, we gotta get these influence numbers up, but we're working hard on it. Here on Ash. Well, we're no longer super happy, actually, so why don't we try to fix that? I do like being super happy. Actually, hold on a second. No, I don't have access to level 3 modernization. I was just thinking, oh, wait a minute, could I have been upgrading systems to level 3 this whole time? But we are, in fact, tech short. We are 2 techs short. Well, they should probably be Trade Company and Mine and Antimatter. In addition, this lets us colonize gas worlds, which is helpful. Yes, this may be where we're going after we finish our large ship hulls. I do want to get those rolling, because it's I think it's time to do some stuff. Time to do some horrible stuff. And in fact, we may be hitting the moment here where it's time for this system to transition into violence. Of course, that means we gotta do some ship designing. You know what? That can be what we do next time, because I just realized what time it is. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you're still enjoying the series as much as I'm enjoying making it. I know I've been slow-rolling a little bit this series. I'm just trying to make sure we establish a solid economic base before we go marauding and stealing other people's systems. So, come back next time, ship designs, and then probably War with Sophons right after. And we'll see you then.